Hello friends, I'm so glad you're here with me today and hope you're in great health and staying safe. Today we're just going to have some pure fun. I'm excited to share with you ways to create an evening glam look for those of us with mature skin who are in our 50s, 60s, and beyond. Since we're all taking some special health precautions right now during this challenging time and staying at home, I thought it would be fun to take some time to experiment and create an evening look just for the sheer fun of it. I have absolutely nowhere to go this evening, but I hope our time together today might give you some inspiration on ways you might amp up your day look to a special evening look when we do get back to normal. If you're new to my channel, please let me extend a very special welcome. My name is Elise, and I'm a professional working makeup artist who's passionate about helping those of us who are over 50 look like the very best version of ourselves so we can look and feel more confident. Each Thursday, you'll find a new video on my channel, and I hope you'll join our wonderful family of subscribers. And if you also hit that bell icon below the video, you'll automatically be notified each time a new video is available. And I thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so. So let's go glam. I'm going to start with my eyes because that's where we can really have some fun in creating a more amped up look for evening. And evening lighting allows us to go just a little bit stronger with our makeup look. So let me tell you first of all what I've already done. I've already prepped my skin. I did my normal morning routine where I apply a variety of different serums and moisturizers. And as you can probably tell, I've already done my eyebrows and I've also used some eye primer on my eyes. And let me share with you the products that I've used for these two things. I used the Urban Decay eye primer in Eden, which is fairly close to my skin tone. It's a little bit lighter. And for my eye look, I did a combination of things which I ordinarily wouldn't do, but since this is a glam look, I combined a few different products. The first one I used was my eyebrow powder. This is one from Anastasia of Beverly Hills. It's her powder duo, and I wear a medium brown. And then I also used a product from Maybelline called their Tattoo Studio. This is an eyebrow pomade. It's a cream, and it has a wonderful little brush that also comes with it that's actually dual-ended, so you have a brush on one end and a spoolie on the other end. That allows me to fill in the top area of my eyebrows because quite honestly they've gotten a little bit scraggly along the top in the last few years. And that gives me an even line to work through. So that's where I use the brow pomade, and then I do use a spoolie to blend it in. And also, because of the last few years, I've also ended up with some wiry hairs. Maybe some of you have experienced that same thing. In the bottom area of my eyebrows, especially in the tail area, I also use a gel. This is called Balm Brow Styler, and I really like it. It's a drugstore brand and it works really well. And one of the things I really love about it is this little tiny wand that it has, which really enables you to very carefully define the eyebrow area with the gel. It also comes in a number of colors, so it's pretty easy to find a match, as does the Maybelline brow pomade, I might add. So that's what I use for my brows. I also started off, which I always do before I start any makeup routine, whether it's daytime or evening, using my lip product because I don't know about you, but my lips really dry out and get chapped easily. So this is one called the Naked Bee, which I really love. It comes in a lot of different varieties. This is orange blossom and honey. I also love their coconut, but there is also a lavender and I believe a couple of others as well. It really works beautifully and it doesn't have any ingredients that cause problems. Another thing which I really love since I put it on my lips so frequently. The other thing I've also done, and I don't know if you all are running into the same issue, but with having to wash hands so much, my hands get so chapped and dry so easily. So I've really had to, in the last couple of weeks especially, use hand cream a lot more than I ordinarily do. And this is one I've really found that I love. This is Essentiel by Adele, and it has a lot of botanical and organic ingredients in it, and it feels absolutely wonderful. There's a little bit of fragrance to it, and I'm not particularly fond of products with fragrance, but it really is a very pleasant, light fragrance, and it dissipates pretty quickly. So I really don't have a problem with it. this is going down very quickly. So let's go ahead and start in on the eye look. I'm going to use something that I've mentioned in a previous video, which I am so excited about because it's probably one of the very best deals I've ever gotten on makeup. And I don't know how you feel when you get a good deal, but it's a pretty wonderful feeling for me, and I'm sure it is for you. This is called the Mini Lila Palette by Natasha Denona. She makes some of the most wonderful quality eyeshadow around. And usually her eyeshadow palettes are pretty darn expensive. This happened to go on sale around the holidays on Sephora as well as on the Natasha Denona website itself. And I did just check, it's still on sale. However, by the time this particular video airs, I don't know if it will still be on sale because I do film 6 or 7 weeks in advance. So you may want to check. We might just be lucky and it might still be on sale. It's normally $25 and it was on sale for $12.50. Just an amazing bargain. That one neutral color at the far end called Flint is just the most gorgeous transition color, mid-tone color. And also those purples and the maroon colors are stunning. And I'm going to use all of those plus something else that I'll share with you. This is another wonderful makeup brand called ColourPop, which is far less expensive. But it's absolutely amazing to me the quality of these eyeshadows. Now, I primarily use mattes, but occasionally I will dip into some of the foils or shimmers. And they're all just stunning. So what I'm going to do is going to combine a little bit of pink with some of the purple in the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, and we'll see what we come up with. I'm going to start off by combining Flint, which is right over here on the end, with one of the pink shades. That's the one at the bottom of this particular palette in the middle. So I'm going to combine those two because I want more of a pinky neutral color. We'll see how this comes out. You never know. Sometimes combining can create muddy colors. I hope that's not going to be the case. I'm going to start off in the middle of my crease area and right above the crease. And I'm going to go just across as I always do to lift my eye. And I think you can start to see a little bit of delineation happening in that crease area. And now, because I've used up a lot of what's on my brush, I'm just going to, with what's left on the brush, carry it up just a little bit higher. There's hardly anything left on my brush, but I just want to blend out those edges. Now I'm going to take my old standby, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, I'm sure you've seen me use this product. It's by Laura Geller, and unfortunately, I think it's being discontinued. I went in and bought a couple of them, but this has a combination of colors in it. There's a matte one called French Vanilla, and I think she still sells the French Vanilla separately on her own website and on QVC. It just may not come in this duo situation with the French Vanilla and the Portofino on the other side. The Portofino has more of a beautiful luminosity to it, and I often use that as my highlighter during the day. But today I'm just going to use that French Vanilla color on my eyelid area. And that's because I want to open up my eyes with this lighter color. This also provides a really good base for other colors if you want to add them to your lid, and I'm going to add a little bit shortly. I'm also going to put it in the inner corner of my eye because frankly that is a very dark area, so I want to brighten it and lighten it up. I'm also going to take this very tiny brush and I'm going to put a little bit of that French Vanilla right under my brow area, just under the arch of my brow, and that really helps lift the eye. And now I'm going to take the eyeshadow color on the opposite end from Flint. This is called Poisonberry, just a gorgeous, gorgeous sort of maroon purple. And I'm going to put that in the crease area because these are very pigmented. You don't need much. And I'm just going to sort of darken up this outer area. And I'm also going to bring that down just on the outer edge of my lid and carry it up the side of my lid to meet the color in the crease. Now I'm using a flat brush, which really helps me sort of lay down that color. And then I'm going to do some blending. I'm going to take my small blending brush. Just get in there and blend. Take it in toward the inner part of my eye a little bit more, and then just blend up and out. If I were going to be doing just a day look, I would probably just leave it at this, but I am going to go in with a little bit more color and amp this up look a little bit. I'm going to take some of that gorgeous blue, it's called Blue Dahlia, and I'm going to put a little bit of that just under my crease area and bring it slightly up over the crease. This is the color that I'm talking about, the Blue Dahlia. This is what's going to really bring some drama to the look. There is a little bit of shimmer in there. And because I have very deep set eyes and a little bit of a hood, I have to bring my eyeshadow up above my crease area to really show. So the reason that that's important is because if you look at the mirror straight on, if I just put it right in that crease, you probably couldn't see it very well. So I'm going to just lift it slightly above. Now, as you can see, what that's doing is combining those two colors into more of a blue violet, which I'm really liking, I have to confess. That's one of my favorite colors. That must be the reason I was so drawn to this palette. I just pretty much loved those purples and blues and maroon colors. So you can see that's amped it up quite a bit. I'm going to go back in with the beige and pink and just fill in this area a little bit more. So you can see it's sort of an ombre effect a little bit, going from the pink into the purple and the blue, which is what I wanted, a nice soft transition between those colors. Now I'm going to experiment just a little. I've actually never used this color. This shimmery color is called Linen, and I'm going to go in and put a little bit of that just on the outer corner of my eye. Let's see what that does. If I were to apply this with my finger, we would get much more of a shimmer effect. In fact, just for the fun of it, I think I'm going to do that. Yes, as you can see, this really makes a huge difference in what you use to apply the eyeshadow. That definitely gives much more of a foiled look, which I don't normally do, but since this is an evening look, we're going to do something that's going to shimmer a little bit more. Also, I have less texture in this part of my eye, so I don't mind so much putting a shimmer in this part of my eye. I wouldn't put it in my crease because I do have a lot of texture and crepiness going on in the crease area. Just going to go in and fill in this outer corner of my eye a little bit more. And what I'd like to do is just have a gradual transition from that linen color into this Blue Dahlia, just so they mesh together a little bit better. Okay, I think we're getting there. And now I'm going to go back and blend. If you hear a little bit of clinking going on, it's my brushes that are laid out in front of me, clinking against one another. Now I'm going to take a bigger blending brush, and it's clean, and I'm just going to go over all of those edges to make sure that there's no harsh outline at all. Okay, that's pretty close to where I want it to be. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. Of course, the trick is to get these to match, and that's always an interesting process. So I'm using the pink from the It's My Pleasure ColourPop palette, combining that with the Flint from the Natasha Denona. Then I'm going to go back in with the Poison Berry, which is what I used initially on the outer corner and a little bit into the crease. This flat brush really enables me to lay down color much more easily and quickly. And I need to do some blending. Then I'm going to go in with that beautiful linen color that was really a beautiful metallic. One thing that I really find it necessary to do is really lift my eyes after I apply my eyeshadow, because then I can really see how well I've blended and what I need to do to finish up the look. Right, one other thing you can do if you feel you still have some harsh edges and you want to tone it down a little bit, I'm going to go back to my French vanilla that I used earlier, put a little bit of that on my brush, tap it off, and then I'm just going to lightly go around the edges, because that really makes everything come together and blend together nicely. And I really want the inner corner of my eye to lighten up, so I'm going to go back in with the French vanilla a little bit more on that inner corner. I think I'm ready for eyeliner. Ordinarily, I wouldn't do this for a daytime look with eyeliner, but I'm going to do something a little bit wilder than I normally do. I'm going to take this gorgeous blue eyeliner. It's from Maybelline, and it's called Strikingly Navy, or Striking Navy. I'm not quite sure which, and frankly, I can't quite read this small print, but I will put it in the description box along with all of the other products I'm using. So I'm going to add this as my eyeliner, and I don't see well at all. And I have a magnifying mirror, but it's not as good as the one that I have in my bathroom. So I am definitely not doing a perfect line here. I'm getting as close to the bottom of my lashes as possible. But the good news is I'm going to smudge it out with a Q-tip, and that will really make it all blend together. So I say I would normally use brown eyeliner on my eyes, but since we are amping up this look just a little bit, I'm going to go with the blue. And actually at the end, I'm going to do something which will probably surprise you with my eyes. But I will first do my face makeup, and then I will pull out the surprise and see what you think. And actually by smudging it, it's a really more natural look as well, which I really like. Also, I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara. What I do is lift my elbow to get the best curl, hold for 5 seconds, and then stair step up my lashes. Unfortunately, my camera did not record the segment I did after I used my mascara. So let me tell you what I did in the next portion of the video. I used a moisturizing primer by Eve Pearl all over my face, and then I next used 3 different foundations, believe it or not. I used Beyond Perfecting by Clinique, which is a heavier coverage, and I used that just in the center of my face. And then I combined 2 other Clinique foundations. One is called Even Better, and the other is Even Better Glow. And I combined them so I'd get a little bit of a glow, and I used that on the outer portions of my face. Then I used some blush and some highlighter and did some contouring as well. And for my blush, I used Ilia at Last, just in this area of my cheeks. I also did highlighter right above it. And for the highlighter, I used this product from YBF. It's a cream illuminator, and it's also a cream neutralizer. Let me show you what it looks like inside. As you can see, the one that's well used is the illuminator. It's a beautiful soft glow. And I put that right above the blush, right along here on my cheekbones. Then for the contouring, I used something from Cover FX, which unfortunately has been discontinued. It's a contour kit specifically for those people with a pink undertone for light complexions. So I used the light color along the middle of my face and in my nasal labial folds to bring them forward rather than to recede so they look deeper. I wanted them to look not as deep, which is what the light did. And then for the darker colors, I used along here, I used under my cheekbones, and I used along my jawline. As you can see, I put some of those colors, the darker colors of the contour kit, on the back of my hand, and then I put my sculpting brush into that and absorbed all of it, and then used it in these areas on my face. By putting the brush into the contour cream, it really absorbs it nicely and it goes on much more easily and softly. Then I added lipstick. For those of you who have seen my videos about lips, I did my normal routine where I put concealer on the edges. Because I have lipstick that feathers or migrates, I have a lip routine which is a little bit different. And if you don't have an issue with lipstick migrating or feathering, you wouldn't have to do this. But what I do to help prevent that happening is I put some concealer along the edge of my lip line. I stretch out my lips like this and put it in, so hopefully it fills in those lines. And then I use e.l.f. Lip Lock Crayon, which is a waxy pencil, over that and blend it in very well. And then I use a lip liner to match my lipstick color. And I use that on the inner portion of my lip line, on my upper lip, because I want it to look slightly smaller. And I use it on the outer edge of my lower lip line to help that lip line just look a little bit bigger. Next, I fill in with a NYX matte lip color, and over that I put a more luminous color. The matte lipstick going on first again helps prevent any migrating or feathering and provides a good barrier. And then I do want some luminosity in my lip area, which always makes us look better. It brings light to our face. And I use a brighter color lipstick in that area and top it off with lip gloss. Now, my surprise that I had at the end, which you'll be able to see in the next part of the video, is that I used false eyelashes, and I used magnetic false eyelashes. Just a few years ago, they developed magnetic false eyelashes, and originally the false lashes were designed so that there were two lashes and an upper lash and a lower lash, and you sandwiched your own lash in between those two lashes that had magnets on them. Unfortunately, they were really difficult to work with and to apply, and it took a lot of fiddling and a long time to do it, so I eventually gave up on it. However, more recently, they've come out with a new iteration of magnetic lashes, which works so much better. And I know some of you have issues with sparseness of your lashes or maybe no lashes at all, and really would like some kind of solution, which is why I wanted to mention these magnetic eyelashes. And for those of us who really like to amp up our look when we go out and look a little bit more glam, false eyelashes can be a beautiful addition as well. So let me tell you a little bit about how this newer version of false eyelashes works. I used a brand called Kiss Magnetic False Eyelashes. What I love about this brand is that there are 5 little tiny magnets on each lash, and that helps them stay on a whole lot better. And rather than sandwiching your own lash in between two lashes, what they have is this. They have magnetic eyeliner that you put on first, and then the lashes just latch on to that magnetic liner. So I applied the magnetic liner all the way along the lash line, as close to the lashes as possible. And I put a little bit extra on the outer edge and the inner edge. That just helps the lashes adhere a little bit better. So those were my next steps in my makeup application for a glam look. And in the next segment, you'll see what I looked like with those false eyelashes on. So here you have it. This is the final look. I hope you found this helpful to think about how you might do a glammed up look for the future. And if so, please give this video a thumbs up. And in the comments section below, I hope you'll also share where you'd love to go wearing an evening glam look after things return to normal. Maybe a favorite restaurant, perhaps theater or music performance, or maybe out dancing. It's fun just to think about something special that we can all look forward to doing in the future. And also during this time, I'm sure we're all doing a lot of extra reading and maybe watching some TV or special films that we're enjoying. And I'd love to hear what you're watching and enjoying. And also, if you are by chance a fan of historical fiction or nonfiction, I would love to hear if you've read any great books recently in that genre. I need to come up with several books that I can recommend in the next few months to my book club. So if you have anything you've read, I would love hearing about it. I just finished reading a great Kristen Hanna book who wrote The Nightingale, and this book is called The Great Alone. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Well, thanks so much for spending this time with me today, and I so hope you do take special care and remain in good health, and have a fabulous rest of your day.